Greetings, beautiful people. This is Simon Javan Okelo. I'm the CEO and founder of Madaraka Festival. We are here for another episode of the Madaraka Podcast. I'm here with Ajib Gathoni and Marioo Owino, the co-founders of Retro House, an incredible event production company in Nairobi. How are you all doing today?
Good.
Excellent.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Listen, you guys are incredible. I'm really proud of you. And, I know that you are an incredible creator. And I feel that you guys coming together to produce events is, for me, it's like a dream for me, Finding someone that you share a passion with is something that I needed for Madaraka Festival at the beginning, and I didn't have it. So seeing you guys working as a collective from the very beginning is really, really inspiring. So I want you guys to just take us a little bit back, like how did you all meet? And what is it that made you feel like, we can do this together?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to go.
So we met at Skate City. Mm-hmm. It's a place where people just go vibe, skate.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
No, the thing is, I knew her from social media, but we had never met in person.
Okay.
So we met in person in Skate City.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we became friends. And then the next time was at a mutual friend's birthday. We met again.
Mm-hmm.
So our friendship grew from there.
Yeah. I think from there, the ball started rolling, in terms of just, we hang out a lot. We have mutual friends, so we see each other a lot, and then we also on socials.
Yeah.
So it just grew, and then, when you align with someone in terms of the good vibes, it just moves. Yeah.
I really value how you guys think, because I feel like I think like that too. A lot of the time, in a place like Nairobi where there's so much fun to be had, many friends just meet to drink, but few friends meet to create companies, and you guys are so young, and I feel like I would have no problem with you guys saying, look, let's just save money and go to Zanzibar, because a lot of guys who have the influence you have are doing that. So why did you guys start Retro House?
Yeah, I think for us, one, it comes down to sharing the same passion.
Yeah.
So Ajib is a digital creator in the content scene and everything, and I'm a digital strategist. So more or less, like, I'm a curator, she's a creator. So we are sort of, our values and our talents and our skills align in a way that you find, before we even decided to come up with Retro House and decided, okay, you know what, let's actually make a company out of this. We were still doing like her gigs, we'd help each other, my staff would help each other idea wise. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Let's do this. It's like consulting each other. And we're like, okay, we can actually just come together and build something that's really incredible, because we both have the talent in different spaces, and you find that maybe her strengths, she can fill in my weakness, and vice versa. So that's how I think we came about. And then there's also the need for the market, of course, that we'll get into.
Yeah. Plus, I know I get paid to pull masses to events. So why don't I just do it myself? You get? Yeah.
Right.
So I can pay myself to make it easier. You get? Yeah. Plus, how we came about with the Retro House, right now I'm majorly on TikTok. Like, I love TikTok. So I had been saying, I want to like attend a bongo concert, like an old school bongo concert. So it was just by the way. One person started saying the same, the other person the same. So it became like a petition on TikTok, like, why can't we just have a bongo old school concert? One time on my comment section, someone said, Ajib, why don't you just do it yourself then? I was like, say less.
Yeah.
So that's how we come about it.
Yeah.
So we're like, so at first it was just for the bongo concert, but we're like, okay, fine. After that, then what next?
Right.
Lazima tutaendelea. So that's how we came about Retro House.
Yeah. Did you already do the bongo The bongo
Not yet.
concert?
No, that's the second one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's part of our plan. It's part of our year's plan to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. Anyhow, let's go back to like, where did you guys grow up? How do your parents and your siblings feel about this direction you're taking? Because I feel like at this stage, they're kind of still influential in the decisions that you make with your time, with your careers, you know? Yeah, so take us back a little further.
Okay, well, I'm born and raised in Mombasa.
Oh.
I came to Nairobi in 2019 for not so good reasons. My mom was sick.
Oh.
We noticed too late that she had brain tumor. So we had to come to Nairobi. From Nairobi, akapelekwa India. Now, when she came back from India, she was like, you know what, guys, we're not going back to Mombasa. We are like permanently going to stay in Nairobi. I cried. I hated Nairobi. Oh, my days. I had never imagined myself living in Nairobi. So we're like, okay. So now we're starting afresh in a city I have no idea about. Everything here is just chap.
Yeah.
In town,
Too chap.
somebody's shoving your shoulder, and I'm like, where are you guys going?
Yeah.
Like, calm down. We will both get there anyways. Yeah. So for me, that was like a hard punch. I didn't notice that I can survive in a place like Nairobi. But now, thinking back at it, I'm like, thank God. Because everything aligned from that day my mom came back from India. Because I wouldn't have thought I would be here where I am now. Plus, my mom is such a spontaneous person. Like, she'll go with whatever you want. Like, you feel like that's going to be good for you? Fine, let's try. My mom is the one to tell you, nitatranslate na Kizungu, like, hata kuambia ukienda, atakuambia ukifika. So she won't say, no, don't do this. She doesn't know the outcome. So my mom is the one to, like, support everything. As long as it makes sense to her and to me, she will support it.
That's great.
So now, she is very proud. Angeweza, angekuwa na mimi uko TikTok tukidance na yeye, to be honest.
That's so great.
Yes.
That's so great.
Yeah.
How many siblings do you have?
I have a bigger sister.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We are
That's
two.
good. That's good. That's good.
From
That's,
my mom. But from my
yeah.
dad, masses.
Yeah.
We are a lot. Yes.
Yeah.
I have so many siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I was raised in a big family, in a polygamist family too.
Same.
Yeah, if I tell you how many siblings I had, you'd think we're like a soccer team and some subs.
Me and you
know?
both.
Yeah,
Me
that's
and
so
we
funny.
all know each other, and
Yeah.
we are actually a family.
That's great.
Yes.
That's so great. How about you?
Well, myself, I'm born and raised in Nairobi, Kenya. So I come from a family where when I was young, my father used to work for EBL. So when I was young, birthdays were a big thing. So from as far as I can remember, my birthdays were the thing for the estates. Like, they're coming for my birthday.
Yeah.
I think that's where my love for fun and events and all this hype came from.
Okay, makes sense.
You know, my
Yeah.
birthdays were a big deal. Up
Yeah.
until I went to high school.
Yeah.
My birthdays were not small. It was big.
Yeah.
You go big or go home. I think, I don't know if it's because we're low or anything, but
Yeah.
And now as a 27-year-old, I think, you know, my parents support what I do. I mean, I've gone to school, yes. I've studied in Strathmore. I've done business management, and I've also done international studies. So I have background in diplomacy and business as well. But then what I'm doing is totally different from anything that I learned in school. So what I'm doing is out of passion. It's out of love. It's out of what I enjoy doing. I enjoy creating. I enjoy curating. It's just what I love. So I have 2 brothers. I'm the only girl, and I'm the firstborn, actually. So yeah, that's how I grew up. So my parents actually more or less support what I do. The thing with my parents, they know I have many talents. I was always that kid who can dance, who can swim, who can do what. In school, I'll have awards. I'll have so many things going on. So even as an adult right now, they'll be like, oh, I'll tell them I want to do this.
Yeah.
How does it work? Okay, fine. I'll tell you for a fact, my father does not understand like digital. He just knows I do something on the internet.
Yeah.
So, but he does support it. They do, you know, as long as I know what I'm doing, or I know rather where I want to be in the next few, they'll always support it. And wherever they can come in, they're happy to do so. And I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, that's so incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I just love stories. I love stories because I think without stories, nothing exists. You know? And stories are also how brands are built. You know. And so I feel like this is your guys' brand story, you know. You guys come from families that support, you know, bringing people together, you know, and I just appreciate that. So, you know, when I think about Madaraka Festival and I think about Retro House, in all honesty, there's a lot of similarity, you know. But I think the big difference is that Retro House is the event company of the future, you know. Yeah, you guys, you know, might end up organizing events in the moon, you know.
Trust you.
Yes.
Possible.
Yeah. So, let's dream together. Tell me about like your first event, you know, and tell me about. Paint the picture of how it feels. Like, let's say we are walking into the venue, you know. So paint the picture of let's walk back from the moment when, you know, we are in the event, we are having a good time, and then let's walk backwards to how you guys are going to make that happen.
So imagine this. It's a situation where you're going to an event at a hangar. You've never... Okay, Nairobi, people actually do events, you know, in joints or rather entertainment places. You know, maybe Nairobi Street Kitchen and the likes.
Right.
But the direction we're looking to take is very different. It's actually very unique because our first event is at a hangar, at an airport. And it's not every day that people will wake up and, you know, throw an event at an airport. I mean, that's a unique experience. So imagine walking into a hangar that's, you know, good vibes. It's music, it's food, there's everything. There are games, there are, you know, photo booths for the Instagram lovers and the photo lovers. There's everything in terms of whatever you can have at this other joint, you have it, but now at a hangar. It's a different experience when you're in a, more or less, we say weird space. It's not that much of a weird space.
Plus, so I love weird.
Yeah. I think weird is the new thing in the market.
Different.
Different. So that's what we are looking at. Like our first event, or rather whatever we are heading towards in the next few weeks, is the Kenyan Classics. Why we chose the Kenyan Classics is because, one, we are Kenyans. We're celebrating our music. Also, once you're in that hangar, our target audience is millennials and Gen Zs. So for the millennials, the classics remind you of that time, you know, you were a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old with no stress. I mean, right now, adults have so many things going on. But that time, you'll hear a song that reminds you, oh, I have a memory from this song. You know, I remember my birthday or whatever. I think that would be me. So there's that aspect as well. And there's also the celebration of the new thing. Yeah, the urban tone. Yeah.
So mainly, I think one thing I'd want people to like walk in and think about: one, good vibes; two, the nostalgia. Because for the millennials, they grew up listening to it. For the Gen Zs, they want to be associated with it because maybe most of them don't really know the songs, but they want to keep up with the trend. Like, oh, so and so knows this song. Okay, fine. Which song is this? So that's the crowd we want to capture. Plus, for the urban tone, that's the in thing now. That's where the Gen Zs are now. Like, I don't think you can sing one line of any urban tone song and a Gen Z won't tell you what that song is or who sang it. So I believe urban tone is really the future for Kenya right now. If it's not really very well nurtured for. It's the future now for Kenyan music.
So when you guys were thinking about Retro House, what other events in Nairobi or across the world were you guys being inspired by?
So there's one we were looking at. I mean, I've attended and I think I've told her about it so many times. It's called Passport Experience by Fully Focus.
Right.
Yeah, I know it's a global event that happens. I don't know if it happens where he is, but I just know it happens in very many cities, and especially Nairobi. I've gone for one event and I had a blast, and I was like, wow. And it's just DJs playing, and the vibe the vibes are vibing, people are having fun. And I was surprised, in Nairobi we have a culture of walking into events at 7 p.m, at 8 p.m. We'll go, chill, and then at that time we'll go to the event. But PXP, at 3 p.m, guys were there. Guys were eating, guys were, having fun, guys were playing the games, engaging with the the vendors, tattoos, all those things. So passport experience is one. And then we have the Black Excellence that happens in Nairobi. I think it happens here at Sankara. So I've attended Black Excellence before. I think it's a very unique crowd. They've maintained like their own crowd. Wherever Black Excellence is, they will be there. And that's the kind of community we're also trying to build for Retro House. So if Black Excellence, I know they have an event in April sometime. I know there are people who never miss Black Excellence. Like they are part of it, their movement. So that's also what we are trying to build for Retro House now, inclusively of the Gen Zs and the millennials.
To add on to that, I think Gondwana as well.
Oh yeah.
What we are looking
Gondwana.
They're like their own music.
Yeah.
They have their own community, like
mad community,
religious community, like for them. And I think that's also what we want for us, for Retro House. We want to build a community even moving forward. Like we don't want people to be like, oh, it's fine, it's Retro House. No, we want let's go. That's how we want it to be.
It's more than just Retro House. We are a community. We are retro, like literally house.
Yes.
With our people.
When I had Retro House, I also thought about house music. Are you guys thinking about that
in future?
Okay.
In future.
Okay. Cool. I want to ask you a question that I normally ask my guests towards the end of our conversation, but I honestly don't want to end this conversation. And I know it's getting late too. So just a couple of things. One, think about 3 tips that you want to give my audience, because people have been asking me, Simon, you've done this for 10 years. How have you been able to do it? So 3 tips that you can give anybody who is thinking of producing an event, and I feel that you guys are in the thickness of of producing, your first major event, and I'm just happy for you guys, because
thank you.
Event producers are crazy people,
Yes.
Like if you guys are looking at taking a hangar at the airport, that's already crazy, you know. But what's the worst thing that you guys have imagined that could happen? Like, what's the worst that could happen with Retro House, but also with the first event that you guys are producing, and how are you guys planning to mitigate it, that risk?
Worst case scenario.
To be honest, I think that's how much trust I have in myself and in Retro House. I mean, this is the first of our own that we're doing, but it's not the first time we're doing an event.
So the thing is, I know people will tell you, you won't scale, you won't do this, you won't do this. It's fine. We're not putting our faith in, the positives only. We know there are negatives. It's business. We've done other things before that have flopped. But the thing is, from the lessons that you've learned, we are building that. We're building Retro House with that knowledge. And also, what we're trying to do is learn from people as much as we can. Like Simon, we met you. We was so happy to meet you because it's, it's like meeting a mentor who's done it for 10 years. Not every day you do that. And then we meet other people who are also been in that space, or they've worked with people in that space. So it's something that we keep teaching ourselves in a way before we even launch out. That's what we've been doing mostly.
That's so good.
So that we have people to hold our hand from the first event. We're not walking alone. We're not just casting our net blindly. We have people to hold our hand, because there are other people who've done this before, and they would be of much help to us.
Do you have any questions for me before we go into the 3 tips? I just wanted to create space for you guys to ask me any questions.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Why the name Madaraka? Fun fact, I'm born on Madaraka Day.
That's June 1st?
Yes.
That's so nice. Well, Madaraka. The reason why we chose the name Madaraka Festival is because in the US, where we began producing Madaraka Festival from, when people hear Madaraka, they don't think about it as a public holiday the way we do.
Yeah.
They think about it as liberation.
Okay.
The day that the Wazungus left Kenya for the Kenyans. Kenyans were liberated. They think about freedom.
Yeah.
They think about empowerment, you know. So I had organized multiple events before Madaraka Festival. And I think the biggest event I'd organized before Madaraka Festival was a peace concert in Kisumu, way in 2008, before I moved to the States.
Okay.
And I was using the same title. I love consistency, because with consistency, you build brand awareness.
Yeah.
So 2008, 2009, I did Unite the People concert, you know, in Kisumu. 2010 is when I moved to the US. I still did Unite the People concert there. 2011, I did Unite the People concert. But that name was not aligning with the new audience I was seeing in the States, you know. These were people who were Pan-African. They were like, you know, everything has to be African, you know. And a lot of these people had like, all their names were African names, you know. And so when I proposed the name Madaraka Festival, because the next date of the event we were doing was on June 1st, people were like, that's the best name we've ever had you suggest. That's it, you know. So, you know, we've built on it over the last 10 years. You know, we've registered that name as a registered trademark in the US. We have the URL madarakafestival.com. And, you know, we've been producing a lot of merchandise around it. We've built a lot of awareness.
Yeah.
And we are doing it in 13 cities now, you know, across the US. And by 2026, we will be doing it in 25 cities, you know. So that's why we call it Madaraka Festival. Freedom. Freedom to take risks. Freedom to do what we need to do. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I think I would ask one question, because now we're at our starting line.
Yeah.
On your 10th lap.
Yeah.
So, looking back at, you know, young Simon and Simon 5 years into Madaraka Festival and Simon now, is it the same Simon, or what would you advise the Simon at the start and the Simon in the middle of these 10 years?
This is the thing that is the same, the passion and the love for this, for Madaraka Festival. If I wasn't passionate about it, if I didn't love it, I would have stopped the second year or the fifth year. I would have stopped, you know.
Can I ask why? Sorry.
Why I'm passionate about it?
No, why you would have stopped? Because of the challenges, or because... Yeah,
of the challenges, and also there were easier things to do, you know.
Makes sense.
You know, in the first
For
like
sure.
5 years, I was employed full time.
Ah.
I was doing 9 to 5, and I was doing Madaraka, and I was doing my non-profit organization One Vibe Africa, you know. And so I was always overwhelmed, but I just loved it, and I was like, we are going to do it, you know. But in the back of my mind, I was like, wow, I'm getting paid, you know. I've this job, you know. And also I had people in my life that were telling me, look, just focus on this job. This is easy. You go in, you get paid, you come back, you know. Everything is fine. You get health insurance, which is critical in the US, you know. And then you're getting, you know, you're saving for retirement, you know. And this other alternative, which is the life I'm living now for the past like 4-5 years, is working for myself, you know. It's hard, you know. It's hard. You're your own boss, but it's so rewarding, you know. Like, look, I'm in Kenya now. I'm in Nairobi. I mean, I'm with you guys.
And no one is calling you like.
Yeah. And you know, that also comes with sacrifices. You know, sacrifice. You know, I have a wife and 3 kids, but that means that I have to be willing to let go of that their company. You know. I have to be humble too a lot of the time, because sometimes I have no money, you know. I just have faith and belief in myself and what I'm doing, and that just brings resources, you know. Just the fact that I keep going. There are people who, for example, there's a lady called, I'll not say her name because I think she might watch this. But she used to work for 3 different companies that I really wanted to sponsor Madaraka, like in the first 5-7 years.
Yeah.
And she was the decision maker. She was the person who writes checks, you know. And she was one of those people who'd say, this festival is not good enough, you know. We can't support you, unfortunately. They were not even replying to my emails. And then now she started her own company that helps brands with messaging and acquiring sponsorships. And I gave her first gig, you know. And I still pay her a lot of money now to help Madaraka get funding from more companies, because she understands corporate America, you know. So what I would say is, you know, a lot of people will discourage you, you know, from family to people like corporations who will tell you, oh, you're too young, you don't know what you're doing. But just have faith, stay focused, and just love what you do, you know. And people will come through for you, but people will also disappoint you. People will also discourage you, like in your face, you know. And also the people will just be jealous, you know. So it's just good for you to, I was talking to Bien, you both know Bien. It's so stressful to do what I do, you know. So stressful. Like if you've ever been stressed, maybe you should like multiply it by 20. Because for example, last year we were traveling across 6 cities with 27 people, you know, who left their families and everything, and a lot of them have different standards, you know. And so a small thing, an artist can lose it, you know. So, you know, after we did all of it and it was successful, I came and visited Bien at his house, you know, and we were, you know, just doing our things, having a good time. And he started saying, guys, I want to tell you that this guy is always calm, you know. The house could be burning, but he's just saying everything will be fine. You know? And then I realized that I have a gift of just staying calm in the midst of chaos. And events are chaotic, especially if it's not your event. If it's not your event and you're just an attendee, then it's good. You're having a good time, you're drinking. But if you're on the other side where you're producing it, if you're not calm, it can make you unhealthy, you know, because you'd be yelling at people. Nobody would want to work with you long term, you know. So for me, I just learned to control what I can, and what I can't, I'll just talk to. Everybody's a human being, you know. There's no artist that is a star. All of us are stars, you know. So as long as you're willing to have conversations and be vulnerable with people and work with people thinking about the long game, then everything will be fine.
Nice. Thank you for those gems.
Yeah. Do you guys want to end here, or you want to share your 3 tips?
We can share
the tips.
Okay.
I think,
So let's start with you.
Okay. Number 1, I'd say put a bet on yourself. I believe bets zote zingine zinaweza chomeka, but you're in control of what you want to do. So yako mwenyewe haiwezi chomeka unless you want it to. You get? So I'd say 1, put a bet on yourself. 2, do it. Do it scared, do it happy, just do it. Because if you want to do it now, you have to do it eventually. So why just not do it now? Yes. Number 3, I'd say don't compromise your passion for anything else. Because people will be there to sway your options. Like, okay, fine, I'll foot in this bill, but why don't you just do this instead? You want the money, so you'll say, okay, fine, I'll do mine next year. you'll never do yours.
No.
Another one will come and say, no, I have this other greater idea, do this. But yours is still on the sidelines waiting. So I'll say just don't compromise your passion for anything.
Yeah. Perfect.
Nice.
I love that.
So I think I'll add on to what she said in terms of not switching your goalpost. Don't switch your goalpost. And if I can, in the interest of time, I'll just give a short story. So I've been trying to do something. I love fashion. It's something that's close to my heart, apart from events and the fun of it. I love fashion. So last year I was trying to do fashion events and everything. So I partnered with someone who, said my idea was this big at the start when I was by myself. And then someone came on board and said, I like this idea. You know what? Let's make it this big. And then they decided, no, you know what? Let's make it this big. So at some point it was scaring me. But then again, I'm like, you know what? I mean, they've been in the industry more than I have been. At that time, I've given them 30% of my company. And I'm like, you know what? I trust their expertise. But then again, that person was not for my interest. He was there for his interest. So I shifted my goalposts from what I wanted to what he wanted. And then I ended up losing like everything that I was trying to do. You can't recover your time. You can't recover your resources. You put in money, you've put in effort, you've put in so much. But then now you have to go back again to the drawing board and start from scratch. I mean, that's a good lesson that I got from that experience. But then now I'm using it now. So that's one thing. Don't switch your goalpost. Even if the offer looks too good, think. Think. Is it really what I want to do? Does it align with what I want to do? And then the second thing is also having a partner. Having a partner in business is very crucial. Select the right partner. I'd say for Ajib and myself, we're very open. If she's not happy about something, she'll tell me. We'll have a conversation about it. We have a very, unique way or a very clear way of handling our conflict, of handling something that's a bit of a misunderstanding. Hear her side, hear my side, and we both, try and be on the same page. If we can't, we give it some time, think about it, and then we come back to the table and see, okay, what do you feel? Because sometimes you can be talking from emotions. I mean, we're all human. But then sometimes in business, there's no emotions. You have to have a clear head. Even if you need time to clear your head, take the time. So I think for me, those are the two things. And I'd also say, if you love it, if there's one thing I've always been scared to do is just do it by myself. I mean, right now I'm grateful that I have a partner who we align, our values align. But that fear of, oh my gosh. Now, as I grow older, I'm finding myself overcoming it more and more compared to 23-year-old Marioo, 24-year-old Marioo who really wanted to do something. Because I don't like employment. I'm not a fan of 9 to 5. I've done them. She knows. I'm not. So, right now it's just follow your passion. You have the brains, you have the everything. Just take it and run with it.
I love it, man. I'm so proud of you guys. I wish I was as mature and wise when I was your guys' age. I'm not too old. I'm just 40 years old. But I feel like if I was 27 or 25 and I could even think and think about partnerships from the very beginning, The only challenge with partnerships is it can also derail you, know? Because if you can't get a partner, then you start worrying of, will I really start this business without a partner, Anyway, so it's just a tight, delicate balance, but just the wisdom you guys have, the confidence you guys have, will see you through a lot, Anyway,
super excited.
I
mean, it is scary and exciting. Like, I love a good challenge. One thing about me, I love a good challenge.
Me too.
Show me what you got, please.
Man, you guys can count me in.
Thank you.
I want to give as much value as I can. So always reach out. and just know that I'm proud of you, even when you're failing, you know.
Yeah. Oh yes, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, but when you're succeeding, you have to call me so that we can celebrate
course,
together.
please.
You know?
Please.
Of course,
Yeah,
definitely.
man.
We also want to have a taste of Madaraka.
Yeah.
Kenya, please.
Yeah, we'll do it together.
Yeah.
You know, that's part of the idea I wanted to share.
Say
You know,
less.
yeah. So we'll talk.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so nice.
Yeah,
But
so
thank you
true.
so much.
Of
Thank you,
course.
Simon. We
Of
appreciate
course.
your space. We appreciate your time
Yeah,
and your expertise.
thank
It's
you.
gold.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very.
It's gold.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For those who joined us for today's episode, it's really been wonderful talking to my friend Marioo Owino, and I've also been talking to Ajib Gathoni,
Yeah.
extremely gifted young leaders, and make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you follow them on socials. Do you want to share your socials?
Yes. Mine is Ajib Gathoni on all social media platforms.
Perfect.
Yeah. Mine is Sir Marioo.
Perfect.
Sir Marioo.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you all. I deeply appreciate it. And thanks to AMP Studios for hosting today's episode of Madaraka Podcast. Peace.